With the 9th overall selection, the Seattle Seahawks take Charles Cross, offensive tackle, Mississippi State. This is your prototypical left tackle, 6'5", 300 pounds, sub-5 40-yard dash guy who plays his side, the left side, the blind side, and Charles Cross now goes to the Pacific Northwest, a team that looks very different than it has over the last decade when it has had Russell Wilson and now has a lot of uncertainty. So, when you see this pick, there's a little bit of a run on tackles.
Yep.
First 5 selections of the draft were all defense. Now it's been tackle, couple, wide receiver, now back to tackle. What do we know about Charles Cross?
Insanely athletic, which seems to be a recurring theme with these offensive tackles. The issue with him is he's not as great a run blocker as he is a pass blocker. He's a pretty good run blocker. Now, sometimes the comparison is Andre Dillard, who played under Mike Leach at Washington State. They are not the same players. You can watch tape of Charles Cross run blocking guys deep into the secondary, and I think, is he the perfect fit of all the offensive tackles in Seattle? I think Ike Kwanu would have probably been better because that's his game, run blocking. But he does provide protection for Drew Lock. They still have picks 40 and 41 if they want to think about quarterbacks there. I passed the one here. I think with 2 off the board, you take the offensive tackle here. Check that box and move on.
Yeah, I have no issue with this pick with Cross. You talk about how experienced he has been on the left side. Remember, they lost to Wayne Brown. I mean, he was a star on the offensive line for the Seattle for quite some time. Losing him, you needed to address that position, especially not knowing exactly who the quarterback will be. So you need to try to find a way to protect your newly quarterback as best as possible, and Cross does a phenomenal job in doing so.
It's just a weird pick. Yes, it fills a hole, but is Pete Carroll going to change the way he plays? Pete Carroll wants his offensive linemen to be able to run block. They want to run the football. And Cross is okay in run blocking, but that's not why you draft Charles Cross. You draft Charles Cross to protect your quarterback. So this might be a hint that they're talking about changing the way they play defense a little bit. I think they might start leaning to changing the way they play offense.
They may be behind. They may not be able to run football. They may have to throw and protect a quarterback because they may be down in some games. It's going to be a different Seattle team, different Seattle feel than it's been. When you looked at him, how did you grade him out as a run blocker?
I thought he was pretty good, and Pete said he's okay. And compared to Ike Ekwonu, everyone is okay. He's not as good as Evan Neal in that regard, but he hasn't been playing football for as long as those guys at such a high level. He's had 2 really good years at Mississippi State, a fantastic year in 2021, and I think he has an opportunity to be a good football player. But Pete's right, and it's sort of funny. If you're going to change the way you play football in Seattle, do it last year before Russ Wilson got angry and left, and then maybe you still have a chance to compete in that division.
Well, he's a plug-and-play starter. That much we know. He's right now, he's their left tackle.
And they're going to need a few of them because Seattle in a rebuilding mode, this may be the first step, the first big brick to rebuild that Seattle, that brick wall up front, and then get that defense back to where it was the Legion of Boom. At least that's the plan anyway, in the Pacific Northwest. But Charles Cross goes from Mississippi State to Seattle. The big fella going to play left tackle and should be there for an awfully long time.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.